All right, guys, thank you for joining us for another episode here of the Wrightway live on YouTube. Produced by the Wrightway Sports Network. I'm your host, CEO Malik Wright, here joined by my co-host from the West Coast, Daniel Alameda. How's it going, Al?
Going pretty good, dude. Going pretty good. Had a nice weekend of football and ready to talk some sports.
Absolutely. It's always a fun time when you and I get together and we get the opportunity to talk sports and, debate and talk about the happenings around the league. So with that being said, let's talk about the news that shocked the NFL world at the start of the week. Let's talk about the release of Antonio Brown from the New England Patriots after having an awesome debut against the Miami Dolphins for the New England Patriots. The New England Patriots parted ways with Antonio Brown after a series of text messages went out to his accuser. I want to get your thoughts on that, Al. Let's hear your thoughts. As a Patriots fan, of course.
As a Patriots fan, I was going to say, as a Patriots fan, obviously debut was great. Okay, debut was great. But we knew coming into this, okay, Patriots took a chance. Patriots took a chance, big chance. And if it works out great. But if it doesn't work out, I have full faith in this organization and Robert Kraft and Bill Belichick to make the right decision. And no doubt in my mind, did they make the right decision? I'm not as happy because I would have liked his talent-wise to be on the team. But distraction-wise, we saw all week in the media, Tom Brady was getting asked questions. Julian Edelman was getting asked questions. How does it feel to have Antonio Brown on your team? It's too much media presence. And me personally, as a fan, with knowing what's going on around Antonio Brown's name, I'm completely okay with him being on the team. Completely okay.
So here's what I'll say. I'm never one to jump to conclusions. I'm never one to assume the worst, especially when it comes to a man's character or his profession. And I can't help but feel like in this instance, I understand from a team standpoint why the New England Patriots decided to cut ties with Antonio Brown. We don't know what the instructions were from the New England Patriots to Antonio Brown as far as having contact with this person who was accusing him of this sort. It's like a similar situation of the Reuben Foster with the San Francisco 49ers where, the team told him pretty much stay away from the girl, and he kept talking to the girl, had another incident, betrayed the team's trust, and obviously they stuck by him. So I can't help but feel like this was a situation where this was the camel that broke the straw that broke the camel's back for the New England Patriots. I think that there were some instructions. There were some instructions from the New England Patriots front brass that pretty much told Antonio Brown, hey, this is what we expect of you. This is what we ask of you. Please don't have contact with him. And then obviously the text messages became public. And I want to say not even 24 hours later, he was released from the football team after practicing with him earlier that day. All that being said, I say all that to say what? I think that Antonio Brown definitely needs to get help professionally. I definitely think he's going through a hard time in his life, whatever that might be. And I'm never one to kick someone while they're down, as I start to see a lot of other media outlets do. I actually prefer to use this time to uplift people because in the darkest times, we never know what a person's going through. In this instance, I think Antonio Brown. I'm not going to speak on it. Actually, I'm not going to give my take on whether I think he's guilty. That's not for me.
Yeah,
that's not for me to say, and that's for none of us to say, honestly speaking. But I do think the guy's a hell of a football player. I mean, he proved that in his debut with the Miami Dolphins, and I definitely think that if he chooses to play football again, which I think he will, if he chooses to play football again, I think a team, as long as he's in the right state of mind, and we get Boney Tony, the guy that the Steelers drafted in the fifth round from Central Michigan, if we get that guy back, I think that they're getting a hell of a football player. And I think that somewhere along the lines, he's in there somewhere. I think he's in there somewhere. And I think a team will be lucky to have him. I know the Miami Dolphins inquired about him. The Jets also made some phone calls about him. So it'll be interesting to see where he lands. But I definitely think that if the guy chooses to play football again, he will definitely be an asset to some team. I say all that to say, Antonio Brown, root for you, man. Wish you nothing but the best. We're going to continue on with this. Dallas Cowboys I want to talk about for a second.
Let's go for it.
The Dallas Cowboys. I know it was against the Miami Dolphins. They went 31-6. Dak Prescott, man. I was just having a conversation earlier today with a buddy of mine. I said, Dak Prescott seems a lot calmer these days.
Yeah.
He seems a lot calmer. He's carrying himself with the poise of a guy who's been there before. We're starting to see the calmness of Dak Prescott.
But I mean, hold on.
Yeah, sure.
We've seen this before. It's just now we've seen this before. He's led this team. He's been a pretty damn good quarterback for this team. We can't say, okay, he hasn't taken them far in the playoffs. But we've known he's a good quarterback. And now he's surrounded with the insane talent that they have, and it's showing. It's starting to show.
I'm not saying that I'm not here to disagree that Dak Prescott's been a good quarterback or has not been a good quarterback. What I'm saying is something we have not seen we have not seen the calmness from him. We have not seen this calmness from Dak Prescott. He's starting to carry himself with a certain confidence that we have not seen. And confidence comes from knowing. Confidence comes from knowing the playbook. Confidence comes from knowing your receivers. Confidence comes from knowing what you have around you. And I'm starting to see that on a different level from Dak Prescott. That's not a shot at Dak Prescott. That's a praise for Dak Prescott. Every time I see a quarterback uplift his football team and they find themselves, making a deep run or going to the championship, they start to have a certain poise about them. We saw it from Cam Newton in 2015. He had a certain poise about him. He had a certain confidence. You knew that if you put the ball in Cam Newton's hand in 2015 that he was going to make it happen for his team. We saw it from Russell Wilson when they defeated the Denver Broncos in the Super Bowl. Blew them out. You start to see it from these guys, man. It's a special characteristic. It's almost like a maturity characteristic. We saw it from Drew Brees when he took the Saints to the Super Bowl. It's a certain poise about them. And I think more than ever, I know it's just from the Miami Dolphins game. Right?
Yeah.
But
three bad teams.
The guys in the huddle saying, "Hey, spicy nuggets. I'm gonna get spicy nuggets after the game." To me, that's just a guy that's comfortable in his own skin. He's comfortable where he's at in the organization. He's comfortable where he's headed. He's comfortable in this football team. He's comfortable around the players around him, right? So at this point, I commend Dak Prescott. Whatever maturing he had to do in the offseason to help make himself a more calming presence for that football team. I hope that's the right word I'm using too. He's a calming presence for that football team. I think the world of Dak Prescott. I really do. And I said it on the first podcast we did together. When I wake up in the morning, Dak Prescott should be paid. Dak Prescott should be paid. Pay the man. I'll keep saying, pay the man. Because every single week, the man goes out there without a new contract. He gets more expensive by the game.
Yeah.
Pay the man. Pay him.
Exactly. I definitely all praise to him. I take some of that credit because I went to the training camp, so I think I definitely deserve some of that credit for making Dak Prescott a better quarterback. But I definitely agree. And it's insane for what America's team. He's the quarterback of America's team, and to see that type of poise, like you said in the huddle, I saw that clip. What did he say? It was like spicy nuggets. It's like the man's having fun. There's absolutely no pressure on him. He's absolutely comfortable with his team.
Well, I guess if you're playing the Miami Dolphins, there's no pressure, right?
Yeah. Good point. But,
so continuing on the game slate, I want to give a huge shout out to this guy, Danny Dimes. Danny Dimes. Daniel Jones, New York Football Giants defeat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 32-31. An absolutely thriller game. A game I think a lot of America slept on. It was a game that definitely opened up a lot of people's eyes. And what was more impressive about it is he led a game-winning drive with no Saquon Barkley.
Yes.
That was impressive. And hearing some of the feedback from some of the players, Danny Dimes looks at them in the huddle and he says, "Let's go win this effing game."
Oh, yeah.
They said they never saw that from him. They never saw that side of Daniel Jones before. And what made it even more special is, I hate to shoot the guy, Eli Manning while he's down, so to speak. They said that's something that Eli Manning we would never get that out of Eli Manning. We would never get Eli Manning literally taking matters into his own hands.
Running the ball for a touchdown.
It almost brings me back to, to a certain quote that somebody said. I want to say right before the season started. I can't believe, and I quote, "I can't believe that the New York Giants selected Daniel Jones."
Oh, I know where this is going.
6th overall pick. Some people overthink it. You forget. You got to win. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the quote from Baker Mayfield. to Daniel Jones, ridiculing Daniel Jones, ridiculing the New York Football Giants for selecting Daniel Jones. Well, Baker Mayfield. I know it's only one game, but has he made you a believer? Has he made you a believer yet? Now, I'm not expecting people to hop on board with the Daniel Jones train, but I've got to even say myself, I wasn't too fond of the Daniel Jones pick. Nobody was.
No one was.
Nobody was. We all doubted Daniel Jones because in college he wasn't amazing.
Yes.
He was good. He was efficient. Not amazing. Not the best arm. Daniel Jones made us eat our words this week. He did. He made us eat our words this week. But I'll tell you like this. I think Daniel Jones has the making to be a very good quarterback for the New York Football Giants, and the quiet confidence that is instilled in him. I think he'll continue to feed off of the hate. I think he'll continue to prove the doubters wrong. What do you think? I definitely
agree. Obviously, against the Bucs, can't put that too much on pedestal. Not very good team, but like
good defense, Todd Bowles defense. Good
defense, and they easily could have lost that game. Missed the field goal then, but oh my god, dude! It's just like you said. In the presence, his presence, it's a young presence. It's completely different than Eli Manning. I think it's rejuvenating the entire franchise. And I know no one was fond of this pick, but I can genuinely say that I can see him being the face of the New York Football Giants for the next 10 years. I can see that. Just right now, obviously, small sample size. I can see him, just his personality, everything that he's carrying himself with. I can see Daniel Jones being the best quarterback for the next 5-10 years of this team. Of the team.
Okay, because you said
no, not the league. I'm just saying of the team.
You said the face of the team. I thought, you said the face of the team. I was thinking about Saquon Barkley for a second. I was like, whoa.
But
Saquon Barkley.
Hold on, but do you think in 10 years Saquon Barkley will still be better than Daniel Jones or perceived as better than Daniel Jones?
I mean, that shouldn't even be discussed. I mean,
10 years.
They're teammates. Are you talking about who's going to have a greater impact on the organization?
Greater impact on the organization.
Saquon Barkley got there before Daniel Jones. Saquon Barkley is a transcendent talent. Saquon Barkley is a generational back. I don't think that's fair. I think that I will put Saquon Barkley on the level of as far as like what he means to organization of what Adrian Peterson meant to the Minnesota Vikings. I don't think that's comparable. I think Saquon Barkley is a guy that's going to go out there. You know what you're going to get consistently. Daniel Jones is going to have his off games. Daniel Jones is going to have his off games where he's not playing and, going out there winning game winners for you. But Saquon Barkley, you know what he got in him. You know he's a sure thing. I'm actually interested to see how Daniel Jones plays without Saquon Barkley
the next couple weeks.
So it's going to be very, very interesting. But moving on to our next topic, guys, because I want to keep this train rolling. I want to talk about and I'm going to let you touch on this topic first, but I want to talk about the Kansas City Chiefs Baltimore Ravens matchup.
You're going to let me go first?
I am. Right.
Okay, first off, I just want to say people, and I think I already know your opinion on the Ravens. People are putting too much stock in the L column for the Ravens. What was the score of the game? They lost by 5 points.
It was 28-33.
They lost by 5 points, Malik. This team, okay, we know the defense isn't good. The defense is not top 10. It's not even top 15 right now. But the Lamar Jackson and this offense, the way they're rolling, to Patrick Mahomes to lose by 5 points, to be able to keep up with that offense, the Patrick Mahomes-led offense, an offense that hasn't scored less than 20 points in a game while he's a quarterback, this team has potential for the rest of the year. I think they're a very solid team. And I do not put much stock in the L column. People are already putting them down, not even in the top 10. They say, oh, Lamar Jackson's a fluke. Oh, Lamar Jackson's this. I'm not going to go as far. I completely disagree with people calling him a top 10, top 15 quarterback. But I think he's a perfect quarterback for the system. And I think as a team, they're playing exceptionally well right now. To lose by 5 points to the Chiefs in Arrowhead Stadium, that's an absolute win for them. And I loved what I saw out of Harbaugh. You see at the end, onside kick. He went for 3 straight times. What I want in a coach, I want that. I want a coach that's willing to go out there and try to win the game against the number one offense in the league. And I like what I saw of the Ravens. Let's see what you have to say.
Are you done?
I'm done.
Well, scores can make a game seem a lot closer than what it was. It can. All right, final scores can make the game seem a lot closer than what it was. I'm going to tell you what I've been telling you. The Baltimore Ravens defense. And I remember when you and me first started talking about the Ravens. I had to open up your eyes a little bit on the Ravens defense. The Ravens lost 4 starters last year. They lost 4 starters last year.
They did.
They lost 5 starters in total, with Tavon Young being out with a neck injury.
Mm-hmm.
That Ravens defense was obliterated by Patrick Mahomes. Now, granted, it was Patrick Mahomes. But let's talk about Lamar Jackson. Let's talk about the offense, since that's what people like to touch on. Lamar Jackson, I believe, going into the second half, had 76 yards passing.
He did.
Let me explain to you something. The biggest question mark of the Kansas City Chiefs is not anything on the offense. It is their defense. They have one of the worst defensive back cores. They have Tyrann Mathieu, the Honey Badger. Outside their corners, you can't name them. Cornerbacks aren't formidable at all. That's why they tried to go out several times and pick up players in corners in free agency, top corners in free agency. That's why they tried to trade for Minkah Fitzpatrick. That's why they tried to trade for Jalen Ramsey. Because they know what their weakness is on their football team.
They do.
Yet and still, that defense made Lamar Jackson think. Something that he's not, he didn't have to do in the first 2 games with the Miami Dolphins and the Arizona Cardinals. And the Arizona Cardinals played him tough. That game was a lot closer too. But I want to look at his numbers for a second. Yeah. Lamar Jackson, 267 yards passing, 0 interceptions.
0 interceptions.
But 0 touchdowns.
Okay.
That's big for me. Okay. Something else that's big for me. Nick Boyle, his tight end, 4 receptions, 58 yards. Marquise Brown, his top receiver. Once again, what did I say about those defensive backs? Nah. 2 receptions, 49 yards. Couldn't connect with him all game.
Okay.
Willie Snead, 3 receptions, 47 yards. And most of that yardage came up on a Hail Mary he threw up. Seth Roberts, 37 yards. The list goes on. Okay. I saw that to say what? The Baltimore Ravens, it's easy to play from behind when you're behind. When you're behind, it's easy to play from. It's easy to pretty much go deep in the playbook and make things happen. Now their running game is absolutely strong.
Insane.
The problem with the running game is when you're down, when you're a team that's based strictly off of the running game, when you're down by a big lead, your greatest asset, and I'm going to break it out to you. This is why the Ravens struggle. If you go up and you get a lead on the Ravens early in a game and it gets down to crunch time, their greatest weapon is their running game, whether it be from their running backs or their quarterbacks. Well, newsflash, you cannot run the ball when time is working against you, which means you have to then what? Pass the ball. That's where Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens offense gets exposed. Because this offense is built to play with the lead, not play from behind. Yes. If they have to play from behind, newsflash, Daniel Alameda, newsflash for the people that are watching this, you'll start to see more of the Baltimore Ravens that we saw on Sunday than you're expected to see. Trust me on that.
But who did they play, Malik?
The Kansas City Chiefs.
The Kansas City Chiefs.
Mm-hmm. But you're not. But here's what you're not listening. Here's what you're not listening for. That defense makes them susceptible. I don't give a damn who they play. That defense is that horrendous. That defense is that horrendous on the back end that if they do not get pressure on a quarterback, and a quarterback that is seasoned in the NFL can sit back there and dice that team up, it leaves them susceptible to big plays. It leaves them susceptible to being scored on. And if this team gets scored on and you have continuous success on this team, I get that they paid Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. Trust me, yes. I get that.
Yes.
But what I'm saying is if they play a team that gets a lead on this football team, they will have more struggles than what we're used to seeing them or what we had bargained for. That's the element of this team that people aren't realizing. This team is not meant to – this team is not a heavy pass team. It's a run team. It's a run-first football team. It's the run sets up the pass for them. It is. It's the truth.
Tell me all this once a team stops that run game. Tell me all this once. I truly don't believe that a team will be able to hold this team under 125 yards.
I don't think so either. But what you're not understanding is for a team to hold them under blah 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 yards, right? Right? I mean, you got to understand. Lamar Jackson's going to have to pass the ball. He's
Yes.
going to have to pass the ball for this team to be successful
Yes,
on a more consistent basis. So what I'm saying is, you don't have to go out there and stop them for under 100 yards. You don't have to. The Chiefs are living proof of that. The Chiefs literally got ran all over. Lamar Jackson was running all over this football team. He was like a video game out there.
Yes, he was.
Mark Ingram, 103 yards. Gus Edwards,
3
53
touchdowns.
yards. Lamar Jackson, 46 yards. Like, you don't need to go out there and stop this running team to be successful against them. But what I'm saying is, God forbid, and this is a real possibility, Alameda.
Yes.
This is a real possibility. God forbid an opposing offense starts with the ball first, and they score on this Ravens football team. Then the Ravens take over, and they stop the Ravens. They go 3 and out, and they score again on this Ravens football team.
Okay.
Now what happens is the Ravens are going to be forced to incorporate the pass a little bit more in this offense because they're going to feel like they're playing catch-up. Why? Because you're going to be playing from behind. You're going to feel like you're playing from behind the chains because teams know what's coming. Teams are going to load the box on you. They're going to force their best corner to go up against Hollywood Brown one-on-one and see may the best man win.
Okay, but what you've been saying this since the preseason. You've been saying, oh, it's this easy to stop this team. But no one can stop this team. You can't put this. Okay,
I've never said that. Whoa. We're not going to see. That's what we're not going to do. What we're not going to do on this podcast. We're never going to put words in Malik Wright's mouth.
Okay.
Malik Wright never said that the Ravens' running offense was hard to stop. Matter of fact, I picked them. I picked this offense to finish as the number 1 rushing offense in football this year.
Yes.
I said that they would do that.
Yes.
I said the offense as a total because there are 2 parts to an offense. There's running and there's passing, right?
Yes.
So the offense as a total, passing-wise, will not be as successful. The running game has to marry the passing game. It has to complement one another. And if they don't complement one another, that will be the downfall of your football team, especially if you're playing from behind. Well, guess what? The Baltimore Ravens, have to get up a lead early on their opposing teams as the weeks go on, because this team is not built right now, as we stand today, not built to play from behind. That's not to say, and by the end of the season, that's not to say by next season this team won't be able to marry the running game and passing game. But Lamar Jackson, clearly the coaching staff doesn't think he can be consistent as a passer, which is why they're so reliant on the running game. We still see the Lamar Jackson out there running first. We still see it. We still see the same issues that they were just easy to mask before because he played the Arizona Cardinals, the Miami Dolphins, and they looked good. That's why we were able to kick that to the side. But now he played the first, I guess, a real team, but not. I don't think that this defense was anywhere near to the defenses he's going to be playing. I don't think the defense is going to be anywhere near to the defense that he's going to be playing. And I think we're going to start to see a little bit of Lamar Jackson struggle. I really firmly believe that. I do believe that in my heart. And that's where I was getting at. And like I said, this is not a shot at Lamar Jackson. But ladies and gentlemen, here on the Wrightway Sports Network, all we do is we talk about what a team is. And I firmly believe that. I've been saying it since the offseason, what was going to hurt this team. Alameda, I said what was going to hurt this team. What did I say was going to hurt this team? Right? And the reason why the Baltimore Ravens lost against the Kansas City Chiefs was not because of their offense. It was because of their defense.
I agree.
So I know you wanted to talk a little bit on the Denver Broncos. So the floor is yours.
All right. So, oh my God, Denver Broncos, they played the Packers again. But before we start talking about that, I just want to say, Malik, you know how much time I put in to researching stuff, right?
Absolutely.
You put, and I mean, I've done countless hours of research, night in, night out. I looked through all the teams, right? And one of the very few teams that I saw this offseason that was going to be great for me, the Denver Broncos. Hear me out. The defense. They brought in head coach Vic Fangio. He was the mastermind of the Bears defense. Everyone was coming in seeing, okay, you got Chris Harris on your defense. You got Von Miller on your defense. You got Bradley Chubb. This defense was prime. Even in the preseason, they played the 49ers, I think. Absolutely demolished them. This defense looked top 5 in the league. What have they done, Malik? What have they done? It pisses me off. I have complete faith in them. I think they're going to turn it around. There's way too much talent on this team. There's Von Miller, Bradley Chubb, Chris Harris, and they don't have a single sack.
Yeah.
They're the first team in 50 years to not have a single sack or a turnover in the first 3 games. Not one. Not one. But for me to see this team keeping it close against the Packers, losing by 2 points to the Bears, and obviously losing the Raiders, I have faith in this Broncos team. But they definitely need to turn around. This team has way too much talent. For me, it pisses me off. Everything about this defense was supposed to carry this offense. The offense is mediocre. Joe Flacco's mediocre Joe. But he can take this team. If he has a defense, you like that one. If the defense is carrying this team, he can lead them. I truly believe that. He showed against the Packers. That game was close. They just need to start turning the ball over on defense. Get some damn takeaways. Von Miller, Bradley Chubb. This defense has just had too much damn talent. And it irritates me because they're one of the teams I was so high on. And to see them failing because of some, I don't even know what to call it. It's inexcusable, Malik. It's inexcusable. That's all I can say about them.
Gotcha. I was going to give you the floor and talk about them. I got you, man. A couple noteworthy teams I just want to shout out. Absolutely amazing win for the Detroit Lions against the Eagles, man. That was a reality check. I mean, wow. I didn't see that one coming. I didn't see the Detroit Lions beating the Philadelphia Eagles, but they did. I mean, Carson Wentz played well. Nelson Aguilar, man, got to get his hands up. But I also want to give a huge shout out to the Indianapolis Colts. Amazing game. Played a good game against the Atlanta Falcons. Played them tough. Played them hard. Got the win. Touch briefly on it. Then we're going to talk about these upcoming games this week. First, I want to ask you a question before we continue. 2 games I want to touch on. I want to touch on just give me a brief overview. What do you think? How did the Steelers look against the 49ers with Mason Rudolph at quarterback?
Steelers, when you force 5 turnovers, Malik, when a defense forces 5 turnovers and you score 6 points in the first half, that's all you need to know. 5 turnovers. The Steelers had every chance. The 49ers were gifting them everything, Malik. Mason Rudolph looked good in this first game, taking over for Big Ben. But with the defense actually prepared for Mason Rudolph, it's just no weapons, like we've been saying. James Washington, where is he? Where's the receivers? Where's James Conner? It's the Steelers. People are still, I think they're holding on to the last idea, the 3 Bs, but people need to realize this team's not good. Not a good team.
Are you believing in the Bears hype?
Bears? I'm not. No. Hear me out. Defense, number 1 in the league. Defense is absolutely insane. Killer defense. I thought they were going to take a step back from last year. I truly think they're just as good as last season. They're close. Just as good.
Yeah.
Mitchell Trubisky, Matt Nagy. I don't like him as a play caller. I think what he does is too much motion, too much this. He tries. I don't think he's masking Trubisky's flaws enough. And it's just the play calls. You can if you watch the game, David Montgomery is a great running back. And they're putting Cordero Patterson in at running back. A wide receiver, he could be a running back, but he was strictly a wide receiver before. They're running these motion sweeps. They're running this and that. I don't like this offense. 31 points against the Redskins, but that's a fluke. That's a fluke. I'm not buying into it.
Something else I didn't bring up. I want to give a huge I want to recognize. Think about this. Teddy Bridgewater and the New Orleans Saints defeat the Seattle Seahawks in Seattle. Okay. Here it is. I thought that the New Orleans Saints were going to take a step back. They punch me in my mouth and they take a step forward. Look pretty damn good, I'd say. Rams. Rams versus those damn Browns. I've talked enough about the Browns. I want to get your take. I want to get your take over. I want to hear Alameda's views.
Alameda's views on the Browns. Okay. We share the same idea. Everyone shares the same idea. Freddie Kitchens, this whole team. What more can we do, Malik? At the Wrightway Sports Network, what more can we do than give our viewers what we've been telling them? We've been telling them this, Malik. You can't build a Super Bowl team in one offseason. And like I said, Freddie Kitchens, his play calling, we're not we're not going to get into that. No one realizes he wasn't on the head coaching radar until halfway through last season. How do we know? How did we know that this guy wasn't going to be good? Everyone was expecting, oh, you got Odell on your team, right? You got Baker Mayfield, you got Jarvis Landry. Oh, Freddie Kitchens will sure draw something good up. What does he do? Draw play on 4th and 9. The offensive line, like we said, you can't do it. Myles Garrett, sure, you got a good defense player. Woo, good job. Browns, dude. Browns starting off tough.
What's more alarming to me is not the fact that the Browns lost at home to the Rams in a very winnable game, because the defense played tough. Mind you, they were missing 2 of their best defensive backs in Reed Williams and Denzel Ward.
Yes.
That wasn't what was alarming me. What was alarming to me during this Cleveland Browns game was actually happened after the game. It happened off of the field. It happened in the press conference for Freddie Kitchens. He says, they asked him, why did you call this play? Why did you call that play? Why did you do the 4th and 9 draw? I don't know.
He said, I don't know.
Bad play call by me. Bad, but I thought it was a good play. Why did you think it was a bad good? Why did you think it was a good play call? I don't know. I just liked what I was seeing. They said as long. I believe there was a stat out there. It said as long as the NFL has been filming in the modern era football, nobody's ever called a draw play on 4th and 9. Not even in garbage time. I know this gets thrown around often, but let me be very, very, very blunt when I say this. The Browns messed up. The Browns screwed up. I believed it early in the offseason, but the Browns should have kept Greg Williams on as that coach. They should have kept Freddie Kitchens as the offensive coordinator. Because let me tell you what this sounds like to me. The moment is too big for him. The moment of being the Browns head coach is too big for him, and it's showing. To go up there and answer the questions the way he did, not confidently, not having a reason, not taking account. I mean, he took accountability, he took ownership. He did do that. I will give him credit for that. But with all the talent you have on your football team, you've got Odell Beckham, you have Jarvis Landry, you got Nick Chubb. You have talent on this football team. You have a good defense. And you can't get the job done against the Rams literally were handing that game literally handling that game. Myles Garrett was unblockable. And not only talk about Freddie Kitchens, Baker Mayfield. You know, a funny tweet went out. Somebody said, Baker Mayfield, one day we're going to have a conversation as a community about how Baker Mayfield is Colt McCoy with the personality. And I know that sounds a little bit exaggerated, but when you look at it, guys, it's starting to seem like that a little bit. Just a little bit. I mean, I get Baker Mayfield as a personality, and I think that you need that type of dog. You need that type of guy that's going to transcend the franchise. And I think Baker Mayfield is going to be a very good quarterback in this league. I struggle with saying that Baker Mayfield, he has some tendencies that are worrisome. How about throwing the fact that you're Baker Mayfield, you're the first overall pick of last year's draft class. You have 4 plays. 4 plays. You have Odell Beckham, Jarvis Landry on your damn football team. You can't get the ball in the end zone. You didn't even target Odell Beckham once.
It was 1st and goal at the 4-yard line, Malik. You
didn't target Odell Beckham once. And matter of fact, on the flash play, you do what you do on every damn play. You do that roll out to your right, and you throw an interception.
Inexcusable. That's the Cleveland Browns for you. That's exactly what it is for you.
I'm not going to beat up on Browns fans because I actually feel for you guys. You guys have had a hard couple of years. But I'm just going to say, this is why you don't count your chickens before they hatch. The Browns, everybody believed in the hype. And you know what I told you? I said this reminds me of the Philadelphia Eagles when they tried to build the Super Bowl team in 08.
Mm.
This is what it reminded me of. And this is exactly, you can't go out there. And remember, I said, pressure either creates diamonds or bursts pipes. I said, this team cannot be a middle-of-the-pack team. They have to get the job done. They have to at least make the playoffs in year one.
Good?
This to work.
Or terrible. That's what
exactly.
It is. No middle
And
of the
the
pack.
way it's going right now, a lot of ego. Don't know how it's going to work out. I want to touch very, very briefly before we head out of here, Alameda. It's been a quick show tonight. But I want to talk very, very, very briefly about some of the games this week. Just going to do a quick, give me your quick prediction for the team. You can give a little reasoning why. Philadelphia Eagles at the Green Bay Packers. Who you take?
Ooh, Thursday Night Football?
Thursday Night Football.
At the Green Bay Packers, man. Personally, you know how I feel about the Packers. All my viewers know how I feel about the Packers. They're after the first 20 plays, scripted plays by Matt LaFleur, everything goes crap. Everything. The offense isn't good after the first 20 plays. But the Eagles right now, injuries, what they're dealing with.
Come on.
I think the Packers pull it out. Their defense is too good. I think they flush.
Give me the Packers this game. It's not even a question for me. Give me the Packers.
I'm taking Packers.
Give me the Packers a game. Redskins, Giants. Who you got in New York?
Redskins, Giants, Danny Jones. Danny Dimes, baby.
Danny Dimes. I'm taking Danny Dimes, too. Chiefs.
Wait, hold on. I think after this game, Dwayne Haskins makes an appearance.
See it. Matter of fact, I don't think it takes after this game. Give me halftime. Dwayne Haskins makes an appearance. Chiefs, Lions in Detroit.
Chiefs. Taking Patty Mahomes back-to-back MVP.
Mahomie. I'm taking Mahomie, too. Titans, Falcons in Atlanta.
In Atlanta, give me Matt Ryan in the dome. Matty Ice.
Okay, give me the Tennessee Titans. Give the Browns versus the Ravens in Baltimore.
Oh, Browns-Ravens. Browns free fall continues. Give me the Ravens.
Give me the Browns.
Ooh.
Raiders, Colts in Indianapolis.
I like what I've seen out of Jacoby Brissett. I got to go with them.
Give me the Raiders.
Yeah.
Patriots, Bills.
Is that a question? Give me my boys.
I'll take the Pats, too. Panthers, Texans.
In Houston?
In Houston.
Give me the Panthers. Upset.
Chargers,
that front seven. I'm kidding. Chargers.
Give me the Chargers. Buccaneers, Rams in LA.
Rams.
Give me the Rams. Give me the Buccaneers.
Oh,
give me the Buccaneers
like
this game.
All right.
Give me the Buccaneers this game.
We'll see.
I think Jared Goff gets a little flustered.
Right.
Seattle versus the Cardinals in Arizona. What week is this? Week 4?
Week 4.
Okay, they gotta wait another week to get Patrick Peterson back.
Give me Seattle.
Okay,
Russell.
Seattle 2 for me. I'll take Seattle 2. Vikings, Bears in Chicago.
Vikings, baby. Vikings.
I'll take the Bears. I'm taking the Bears that game. Jaguars, Broncos in Denver.
Oh, that's a close one. Minshew, baby. Hold on, Minshew mania, but God, I just talked about the damn Broncos. Give me the Broncos. There's no way they start 0-4. Give me the Broncos. In Mile High
Give me
City.
the Broncos, and I think that Broncos defense harasses Gardner Minshew. I think this is the game they show
This
out.
is their game.
Cowboys, Saints in New Orleans. Sunday night football.
Sunday night football. You got to give me Dak, dude. You got to give me Dak. This could be.
I would say that, but I'm not saying that. I'm going to say New Orleans Saints. Teddy Bridgewater and the New Orleans Saints gets the Cowboys their first loss of the season, just to hype it down a little bit. And I think the Cowboys come back a little stronger following week.
Okay.
Bengals, Steelers. Monday Night Football in Pittsburgh, both 0-3. Battle of the 0-3s.
Give me Cincy. I trust Andy Dalton more than Mason Rudolph.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of the Wrightway Sportsnet, the Wrightway here live on our YouTube channel, produced by the Wrightway Sports Network. I am been your host, Malik Wright, my co-host from the West Coast, Daniel Alameda. Guys, you can follow us on Twitter at TWSNet. We're always answering some questions, talking to you guys. Follow me personally on Instagram at Wright Report. That's WRIGHTREPORT. Follow Daniel Alameda at
Alameda Views, Alameda_views. That's what it is.
Congrats, buddy. He just hit 1,000 today. Happy
Big man. Big man.
And you guys can visit the website, www.therightwaysportsnetwork.com, twsnnetwork.com. Or, like I said, we're always updating you guys with articles, different things of that nature. Facebook, The Wrightway Sports Network. Twitter, TWS Sports Network. And as always, guys, appreciate you guys' support. There's only one way, and that is the right way. And we look forward to seeing you guys here next week as we break down all things NFL and sports.